Hello, dear friends. You didn't come here to observe change, but to embody it. Opinion piece. Dismantling the system. Green light. Timeline shift. Time distortion. Eloquent silence. First shockwave. Not chaos, but order. A new world will emerge. The blackout is the awakening. Let's start. The debt-based fiduciary system that dominated the world is being dismantled, according to the channel Secrets of Gisera. In their view, December 26, 2025 marked an irreversible turning point. While the public was focused on the festivities, a coordinated operation was carried out. Mr. Poole announces a confirmed green light for a secret global plan, initiated with an access code released on December 28, 2025 at 9 a.m. via a silent signature in quantum transmission, triggering a domino effect without public alert. A cryptic message from Mr. Poole on Telegram discusses a possible global reset, predicts debt forgiveness and significant financial changes, while also reflecting on the future implications. The emergency transmission system is now ready for operation. In the coming days, a 72-hour blackout drill will be conducted to test what to do if the power grid fails during the threat, according to Mr. Poole. Are high-ranking members of the coalition feeding intelligence gurus like Mr. Poole with future-based data? If times operates beyond our understanding, messages like this might not be speculation but information derived from a future that has already occurred. Lockdown. The rate lock sequence triggered far larger reactions in global financial networks that initially anticipated. What appeared to be a quiet alignment has become a systemic shift across several continents. Several central banks attempted emergency liquidity injections overnight, but failed. You are witnessing the old system losing its last footholds. You are witnessing the transition from secret preparation to phased execution. You are witnessing the rise of the QFS as the fiduciary structure fractures. The next sequence will bring clarity and confirmation. Measures. On Christmas Day, synchronized financial control measures were executed in multiple jurisdictions, according to Julian Assange. Special forces focused on money laundering corridors, phantom accounts, and financial matrices that had operated outside the bounds of accountability for years. Hundreds of accounts were frozen, and large sums linked to illicit activities were seized. The purpose of these actions was to cut off the cabal's ability to manipulate liquidity, move capital abroad, or stabilize their positions before the reset. That protection has disappeared. Attempts to transfer wealth to trusts, commodities, or emergency vehicles are being intercepted by the QFS layers of verification. The QFS processes transactions in the background. It does not rely on debt expansion, interest rate manipulation, or speculative leverage. It applies asset-based valuation, ownership, traceability, and legal routing. The price and energy manipulation mechanisms are also being dismantled, as is the artificial inflation fueled by regulatory capture and foreign leverage. What follows is not chaos, but normalization, once the distortion is eliminated. Silence. Many wonder why the media is silent. The answer is simple. The traditional media structure is entangled with the system being dismantled. Media coverage would expose its own responsibility. The silence is not ignorance, it is fear. The transition is planned for 2026. It won't be a one-time event, but a controlled transfer. Traditional networks will fade as QFS becomes the dominant system. Institutions that refuse to comply won't collapse. They will simply cease to function. This is not the end of money. It is the end of control through debt. The elite are losing access, not for political reasons, but because the system they depended on no longer recognizes them. Their wealth is frozen, their networks exposed, and their influence has vanished. The reset isn't coming, it's happening. Wealth is moving, power is shifting, and the old world is behind us. Operations. The shutdown masks the final transfer according to Mr. Poor. While the public believes the government is on hold, high security operations are proceeding at full speed. Unmarked convoys leave federal compounds at night, transporting sealed containers and classified files to underground facilities. Insiders report massive data migrations from traditional bank servers to QFS nodes. Teams inside buildings are cataloging evidence of tax fraud, slush funds, and secret funds for illegal use. Test payments are already affecting foreign partner banks under the cover of the shutdown. This is not a drill. The transition has quietly begun. The lockdown is just the cutting. Behind it, the old system is being dismantled, and the new one is already underway. What the world will see next will shatter the illusion forever. Rates. According to Ethan White of Gaystellar, the global financial system, carefully manipulated and controlled by the elite for decades, is crumbling. While the elite celebrate Christmas, the coalition executed covert operation that dismantled the corrupt financial systems they had relied on for so long. These operations were not made public, but they were crucial. Targeted raids were launched around the world, focusing on hidden money laundering networks, human trafficking operations, and illicit bank accounts. These operations seized over $100 million in assets, including gold, stolen funds, and accounts linked to the World Cup, to the global organizers and their dark side networks. These operations are part of an orchestrated plan to weaken the elite's financial stronghold and redistribute the wealth they had accumulated over years. The success of these raids marks the beginning of the end for the old system. Funds that were meant to remain hidden from public view are being returned and channeled into systems designed to empower people. Central banks are facing liquidity problems, and the old fiduciary systems are being shut down. The old financial institutions are in a state of panic. The transition will not be instantaneous, but a gradual shift, with the old financial networks slowly collapsing as the QFS takes over. As the global economy adapts to the new reality, the ability to manipulate markets, control prices, and accumulate wealth will disappear. The old financial networks based on debt and manipulation will vanish. Instead, a new world will emerge where the people are in control. A new sovereign asset-backed system is taking over. The reset has arrived. Wealth is moving, and the renaissance is already underway. Timeline shift. Lisa Betzel describes a dramatic timeline shift beginning on January 1, 2026, called the Time Warp. This event marks the beginning of a new evolutionary millennium for humanity, planned billions of years in the making, where collective consciousness enters a new dimension of being. On January 1st, a new timeline opens, especially affecting those who haven't noticed the previous shifts. They will awaken feeling a change in their body, mind, and perception. Human bodies become less dense and more fluid to adapt to a change in Earth's gravity, with effects such as softer hair, strengthening teeth, and increased resistance to aging. The high frequencies of love and inclusion will be heard more strongly, while the low frequencies of hate and fear will be attenuated, separating dense energies from elevated ones. Divisions based on religion, nationality, or beliefs will dissolve, fostering universal unity and new ideas, with a gradual process to avoid disorientation. This shift is non-negotiable and prepares Earth for an evolution proven in other worlds, aligned with the millennium year of 2026. Reset news. Some financial institutions may be on the verge of collapse, according to Mike Adams. The signal just changed. Silence isn't failure, it's the switch. Watch who panics, watch who moves, says Mr. Poole. The first shockwave has arrived, and the old ledger couldn't absorb it. What you are seeing isn't a glitch, it's a hard transition, says Mr. Poole. You asked for proof. It is coming in faster than you can update. The network is live. The names mentioned on Epstein's list are so influential that revealing them could bring down both governments and the entire global entertainment industry. According to Berters, solar flares will be gradual to avoid chaos and allow us to acclimate, but the big solar flash will arrive at the end when we are ready. 70% of humanity will rise, because 22% are headless and 8% are very dense. A scared event. The phrase "after me the deluge" is attributed to King Louis XV of France in the final years of his reign before the French Revolution. The phrase is understood as a symbol of political egotism. The monarch didn't care what could happen after his death. Systems don't collapse silently, according to Paul Gold-Eagle. For Babylon to fall, a shock is required. Fear is the tool, not the goal. When people are afraid, they stop moving, they stop questioning, and they start observing. They want that an overwhelming moment would come, a point of maximum pressure, not to destroy humanity, but to ensure that this level of corruption never takes root again. Don't live in fear. The blackout is coming. The final phase is underway. The electrical grid is being transferred to military control. When the lights go out, there will be no darkness, but rather the moment when the truth emerges. The silence you will hear is not fear, but freedom. Communication lines will be silenced, but the signal will remain. Those who are awake will know where to listen. One world ends, another begins. The blackout is the awakening. When the lights come back on, nothing will be the same. Economy. The price of gold surpasses $4,500 for the first time. The rising price of silver signals the demise of fiat currencies, according to John Rubino. The silver market faces a significant imbalance between supply and demand, leading to increased industrial demand and a sudden price surge. Central banks are accumulating gold as a neutral asset. The financial system is evolving toward asset-backed frameworks, transforming global finance. Central banks are accumulating gold as a neutral asset. This is a repetition, excuse me. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.